Hello, guys. Welcome back. Episode 24 of Ladies First. I am your host, Amber Vickers. NCAA news, March Madness is coming up. So we're going to be talking NCAA. I'm going to hop on a March Madness stream, I believe, with Caleb. He's trying to set something up. But I really want to talk about March Madness on my show as well. There's a lot of sports going on basketball wise. So I'll try to fit in as much NBA and NFL news as well because the NFL's in the off season right now, so a lot of players are wanting to be traded, a lot of players are retiring. I'll try to keep up with that as much as possible. But in the month of February, well, this is the end of February, this will be the last show of February, but the month of March is probably going to be mainly NCAA basketball all the way up until the first week of April, which is when the national championships are played for both the women's and the men's. And then the NBA has released the second half of their schedule. I want to talk about that a little bit today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to that because I want to talk about the NCAA because I feel like that's huge. Last year on Sportscaster, I was able to break down like top 30 players, conferences, games, and things like that because I had a lot of time on my hands. And this year I haven't been able to do that as much because I've been focusing on professional sports as well as college sports. But I had more time, more resources to do that. I loved doing that. It was fun to do. I think I did about 3 videos of that a day, just 15-minute streams talking about players to watch. I did All Americans. I'm going to do that on this show as well. I'm going to talk about All Americans, defensive teams, and things like that. I just want to go in depth with it like I did when I was doing it on Sportscaster. So I will be talking NCAA for the next probably 5 to 6 weeks. Got conference tournaments coming up. We got the NCAA March Madness coming up to play at 2 different sites. The men are playing in Indy and the women are playing in San Antonio. I hope I'm right about that. As far as I know, the conference tournaments are always at one site, so that's good. So that's fun. I don't know if they're going to have fans allowing fans. I know the NBA is slowly allowing fans to come into arenas, but I'm not sure if they're going to do that for college basketball or not. Before I get into today's show, I'm going to talk about my bookie. I'm going to talk about the Patreon, RX Hemp, and also Teespring. I usually wear my shirt, but I'm washing it. But here's my mug, and I'll show you guys my gear when I get to the Unwrapped Sports store. So here we go. Let's see if I do this right. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We're going to talk about my bookie first. MyBookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. You can see we got Orlando and Brooklyn playing. We got Sacramento and New York playing. Clippers and Memphis. Right now you have Philly against Dallas on ESPN. It is, TNT, it's TNT Thursday. You got some college basketball on here. I know a lot of people like to bet college basketball. It's all kinds of things you can do on here. We got volleyball. We got esports, horse racing, table tennis, politics, international hockey, of course, baseball when that season comes up, soccer, boxing, tennis, MMA, motorsports, golf, the NHL. You can live bet. They have casinos. They have all types of things you can do on here on mybookie.ag. And I think it's amazing. I've been using the heck out of it. I've been a betting woman here lately, and I got some skin in pretty much all the games tonight. So check out mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Also, we have this is new for Unwrapped. We got the Patreon. We have the Unwrapped Sports Patreon. Yes, we do. I'll accept that. You get the $1 membership. It takes just $1 to support all your hardworking people at Unwrapped. This tier does not come like 2 or 3. So that's tier 1. So that's the fan. The $5 option is for the family. 10% off Patreon code to the Unwrapped Teespring shop. Access 24/7 to Patreon only Discord chat. Okay, there's that. And then we have the $10 a month. That's the VIP. That's what I'm a part of. 20% off the Patreon code to the Unwrapped Teespring shop. You can see the benefits there. Also, With that $10 a month benefit, you can get the Keenan Allen jersey. I have a picture of it. I'm gonna have to have Perry send me a picture of it so I can show it on my screen. But to be a part of that $10 a month club would be fantastic. We talk about a lot of things in the Discord chat, and we just started it, guys. So we're still working out kinks. We're still trying to get it going, get it flowing. But it's a fun thing to be a part of and support the Unwrapped Sports Network family. Also, we have RX Hemp. So we got rxhemp.com. This is warm and cool therapy. We got all your CBD creams down here, as you can see on the screen. Be careful using these creams, guys, but they work. They really, really, really work. You see the celebrities that have been using them. They're made with all natural products. Use the code RXHemp/USN to get 10% off of that order. So it's getting a little warmer outside, but you still have sore, achy muscles. You still have sore, achy muscles. Thank you, Garrett. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. You still have sore, achy muscles to deal with. So rxhemp.com is good for that. Last but not least, we are going to talk about the Unwrapped Sports Network store. So teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get all your unwrapped gear. Let's see what I have. I have this sticker on the back of my computer. What else do I have? I have that sticker on the back of my computer. There's the Prop Bros. There's the Hard Count. The Hard Count, I think, is going to change their gear up a little bit because CJ and Connie are now over the Hard Count. We got the Gen Z. We got the Fourth Man podcast. We got the People's XFL show. That's with Garrett. We got Ladies First gear. Ooh, look at this, guys. This is beautiful. Look at that. My mom just got her gear in. We got the mug, of course. You guys see my mug that I drink water out of. I call it my water jug, but it's a water mug for me because I don't drink coffee. But that's just beautiful, guys. That's beautiful. We're reloading here. Okay, let me check out some more gear that we have for you guys. Saturday standouts. It's with Caleb and Sam. Backstop banter with Connie and Michael. Business casual with Aaron. Got keeping it blunt with Perry and Caleb. And the Bets Unwrapped tee. Used to be Alex and Corey with Bets Unwrapped. So all the live lineups have gear. All of the live lineups have gear, guys. Go check that out. Go support your Unwrapped Sports Network. We really, really appreciate it. Garrett from Iowa, who's in here on in my comment section, is part of the People's XFL show. So him and Moose do that. So you guys go get some of that gear. I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys have been showing to the Unwrapped Sports Network. And if you really, really, really want to engage with us, not just on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you engage with the Unwrapped Sports Network, become a part of that Patreon. The Patreon is fun. Like my gambling habits have increased here lately due to Alex and Corey. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. But making smart bets, the Patreon and being part of the Discord and the chats have helped me make better decisions with my betting. I can say that. All right, guys, let's get into the show. Now, today, I want to touch, I know I've talked about the top 16 for the NCAA. I think they're going to, for the women, I think they're doing a show on Sunday. I think I read that correctly on Twitter. They're doing a show on Sunday for the top 16 for the women. I talked about the top 16 last week. I don't know if it's changed. Now, it might have changed. It might have changed. But let's see if it has changed. Let's see the bracket. Let's see if the brackets have changed, or the top 16 have changed. Hold on, wait a minute. It let me. Selection Sundays in 16 days, by the way. Selection Sunday is in 16 days, which is fun. I think it's going to be very, very, very fun to watch Selection Sunday. I'm going to see if the Unwrapped Sports Network wants to do something for that. But let me Let me go to ESPN because I want to see if the top 16 for the women have changed. I don't think they have, but I could be wrong. So I want to make sure that I am not wrong and give you guys accurate information. Let's see. Bracketology. We're going to go in. It was updated on the 23rd. So top overall seed is still UConn. The first team out is Wake Forest. The last team in is Oregon State. The first four out: Wake Forest, Notre Dame, Houston, and Clemson. Last four in: Washington State, UCF, North Carolina, Oregon State. Next four out: LSU, Nebraska, Villanova, and Colorado. Okay, let's see the top 16. We got, I'm going to talk all number ones, all number twos, number threes, number fours. Okay, guys, I'm going to do number ones first. We got UConn, Stanford, Texas A&M has moved into the top four. So Texas A&M and South Carolina. Those are the number one seeds. Your number two seeds: Arizona, Maryland. So this has changed. NC State and Louisville. Number three seeds, we got Baylor, Georgia, UCLA, and Tennessee. And your number four seeds, we got Arkansas, Kentucky, Indiana, and West Virginia. So the top 16 have changed. They have changed. Charlie Cream does a great job of doing this. Charlie Cream does. So it has changed. It changed. He updated on the 23rd at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. I'm glad the ESPN is able to give me this accurate information. And the 23rd was 2 days ago. So probably in another week. Next week it might be different because we had some upsets. Remember when I told you guys South Carolina was playing Tennessee and they were in a dogfight last Thursday? Well, guess what? South Carolina lost to Tennessee last Thursday, but they did bounce back today and beat Ole Miss 68-43. Tennessee is in a dogfight in the first quarter there with Missouri 13-18 there early. Kentucky's one of those teams where they kind of confuse me a little bit. I know they were missing their top player for a while, but they confuse me sometimes. They're in a dogfight with UGA. UGA is an up and down team too, but the SEC is the best conference in women's college basketball, so they are beating up on one another, which makes sense. All right, now Kentucky's up 44-39. Texas A&M. I'm not bad mouthing Kentucky, Michael, but their women's season has been like this because Howard has been in and out of the lineup. But I think they will get it together for the SEC tournament. That's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm going to watch that for the women's. And at least you'll have one team that makes the tournament, Michael. That's what I can say. At least your women's team will make the NCAA tournament. Your men's team, I'm not so sure about that. Texas A&M is all up on Alabama right now, 60-43. I thought Texas A&M should have been in the top four a long time ago. Michigan and Iowa, Iowa, your girl Caitlin Clark. Michigan and Iowa is delayed. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why it's delayed. Michael, they're facts, Michael. They're facts. Your team has underperformed this year. And even Calipari will tell you that your men's team has underperformed this year. But just think about it. You'll get another top 10, top 5 recruiting class next year. So you won't be down for long, Michael. I promise you will not be down for long. NC State beat Pitt. So NC State beat Pitt by 30, 83-53. UConn ran all over Creighton, 81-49. Maryland beat Purdue, 88-59. Arkansas and Auburn play at 8 Central. Pepperdine plays Gonzaga at 9:30 Central. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. You guys check out Michael and Connie. They go on an hour after me, so that'd be 9 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock their time. Yes. So 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Backstop Banter goes on after Ladies First. So an hour after me, you can check out Michael and Connie. You guys are going to be breaking down a division if I'm thinking correctly. Are you guys going to be breaking down a division in baseball? Which division is it? Let me know, and I'll let my viewers know. That's women's college basketball. Now, since I said there were some upsets last week, the standings have changed A little bit. I don't know how much they've changed. Let's look at it. I need all of the standings. I don't need conference standings. Okay, ESPN. ESPN was doing me right. They got the Cubs and White Sox today, so they will be talking about the Central. So they're talking about the Central Division. They're talking about the Cubs and the White Sox today, guys. Baseball fans, go check out Backstop Banter with Michael and Connie. All right. UConn, NC State, Texas A&M, Stanford, South Carolina did drop the 5. Louisville, Baylor, Maryland, Arizona, UCLA, Indiana, Michigan, South Florida, Oregon, Ohio State, Arkansas, Georgia, West Virginia, Kentucky at number 19 there, Michael. Tennessee, Gonzaga, South Dakota State, Missouri State, DePaul, and Rutgers. So that rounds out your top 25 for the women. They did change a little bit with UConn losing to Tennessee. Who else lost? Texas A&M moved up. I'm happy they moved up. UConn, they just keep on trucking. Who did UConn lose to? They lost to Arkansas. They lost to Arkansas. I didn't know they lost to Arkansas. Wow, let me see. When did they lose to Arkansas? That's not the game. This iPad is so sensitive. Okay, let's see. This game was on. Why won't it tell me when the game was? Anyway, they lost to Arkansas. So that's the one loss that they have. Arkansas is one of those teams that's up and down as well. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you know why I keep up with Arkansas women's basketball. My surgeon's daughter plays for Arkansas. She is a freshman. So I keep up with them very heavily. Shout out to my surgeon. He repaired my Achilles. But as far as the women goes, there are still 7 teams. I think I'm going to go 7. I think I went 7 last time. The top 7 teams could win it all. The top 7 could win it all. I think between, 7 because it cuts off at Baylor. You can even throw Maryland in there as well. Arizona has one of the best point guards in the country. There's a viable chance that there are going to be 8 teams in the women's college basketball that can win it all. I honestly think that maybe 9. Last time I said 7. I'll probably go 9 deep. I'll probably go 9. Teams pick up momentum towards March. And the NCAA is all about momentum. Whatever momentum you have, you carry that into March. And you carry that into the first week of April. Hopefully, you can get to the Final Four and get to the NCAA championship. So momentum is key. If you're playing well right now, with South Carolina's not really playing all that great right now, UConn's on the road, NC State's on the road. Texas A&M is probably playing the best out of anybody in the country right now. Once you have that momentum, and that Texas A&M and South Carolina game is, I think, on the 20. It's coming up. It is definitely coming up. They play South Carolina on the 28th. And that's the battle of the SEC heavyweights between Texas A&M and South Carolina. So I think if A&M, I think one of those 2 teams are winning the SEC tournament. Now, the SEC is deep. You've got Georgia, you've got Tennessee, you've got Kentucky, you've got Arkansas, you've got South Carolina, you've got Texas A&M. I hope I'm not missing anybody. That is ranked. I think that Mississippi State, which Mississippi State is having a down year as well. They're not even ranked in the top 25. But here are your top. Let me see. Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M, and South Carolina. Those are your top teams in the SEC, which you could probably put Texas A&M over South Carolina because, South Carolina has played more games and they're 14-1 in conference, but Texas A&M has a better overall record. So, like I said, South Carolina's played more games. Texas A&M has had to cancel or postpone games. I think they're just canceled. I don't know if the NCAA has enough time to fit those games in. I'm not quite sure. But You're looking at one in the SEC. You're looking at one, two, three, four, five, six, seven teams out of the SEC that are going to make the tournament. Let me see who's on the bubble. Let's see who's on the bubble for the AC. I mean the SEC. I just saw ACC for the SEC. That's going to be played in Greenville, South Carolina. So South Carolina has home court advantage. That's going to be played in Greenville, South Carolina, March 3rd through the 7th. LSU, I think, is next four out. They're the next four out. LSU is. Um, so let's see if they can make a push and get into the tournament. But so far, you're probably going to see. Let me see who Charlie Cream has in for the SEC for the women. He has. Let's look at his bracket. Of course, he has South Carolina and A&M. He has Bama in. He has Arkansas in. He has Kentucky in. He has Maryland in. It's weird that Maryland plays in the SEC for women. College football, I believe they're ACC. It's so confusing. It's so confusing. I'm really confused. Never mind. Maryland's in the Big Ten. Never mind. But Maryland used to be the ACC for basketball. If I'm thinking correctly, they used to be the ACC for basketball. Because when Juan Dixon was playing, yeah, they were ACC for basketball. I think they moved to the Big Ten. Is it just the women or men's and women? No, it's the men's. So I think the men's are. I don't know. They've been mixing up these conferences. Hello, Perry. How are you doing? And all that. But let me go back. Let's see how many teams in the SEC are in. So we already said Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky, A&M, South Carolina. Let's see, Tennessee, Georgia's in. I know. NC State. No, they're the ACC. Sorry. Let's see. Hey, Iowa. Hey, Garrett. Iowa's in for the Big Ten. They're in the tournament, according to Charlie Cream. Let's see. I think that's it. So I think your top 7 teams in Kentucky. I think your top 7 teams in the SEC are in. Who are Bama's, I think, the 7th best team in the SEC, according to their record. Okay, now my iPad wants to freeze. Come on back. So I think it cuts off at Arkansas. Sorry, Arkansas. So there's Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M, and South Carolina. So they do have 7 teams in the tournament thus far. LSU's on the outside looking in. Mississippi State's on the outside looking in. So potentially they could get 8 or 9 teams in the tournament. That is a deep conference. They've been beating up on each other all year long. Even though South Carolina has 1 loss, which was to Tennessee, they have 3 losses overall. NC State, UConn, and Tennessee, which aren't bad losses because all those teams are going to the tournament anyway. Who did Texas A&M lose to? They lost to LSU. That's a bad. It depends on how you look at it. It could be a good or a bad loss. It depends on if LSU can make a run and get into that tournament. According to Charlie Cream, they got some work to do to get into the tournament. Let's take a look at the men's side. Let's take a look at the men's side and see what's going on the men's side. Now, I've talked about the men's side a lot as well. I think Baylor and Gonzaga and Michigan have separated themselves from everybody else. My personal opinion. You probably might not see Duke in the tournament this year. You might not see North Carolina in the tournament this year. You might not see Kentucky in the tournament this year. Kansas has struggled. They just lost to Texas. Texas has swept Kansas in the Big 12. So there are some teams that are struggling. So let's look at it. Top overall seed, Gonzaga, of course. First team out is Stanford. Last team in is Colorado State. The last four buys, according to Joy Lenardi, we got Maryland, Louisville, Seton Hall, and VCU. Last 4 in: Indiana, Xavier, Minnesota, Colorado State. Last four out: Stanford, UConn, Duke, and Richmond. So Duke is on the outside looking in. Next four out: St. Louis, SMU, Utah, and Georgia Tech. Utah State, excuse me, and Georgia Tech. Now this was updated on the 23rd. It was pretty fresh from Joe Lunardi. The first four to play in, they got South Dakota, they got NC, North Carolina A&T, then they got Minnesota and Colorado State as the 12 seeds. So South Dakota is a 16 seed, NC A&T, North Carolina A&T is a 16 seed, Minnesota and Colorado State 12 seeds, Prairie View A&M 16 seed, Wagner 16 seed. A&M always gets in every single year. They have Indiana and Xavier both as 11 seeds. So there's that. Now let's look at this bracket. Top 16 for the men. I'm going to go number ones first, number twos, number threes, and number fours. We got Gonzaga and Baylor, Ohio State, and Michigan. That did not change. Number twos, we got Alabama, Villanova, Iowa, and Illinois. Now, Illinois will be missing there. He broke his nose. He broke his nose. I'm probably pronouncing his name right. Ayu Dosumu broke his nose. So I don't know. I think he'll probably be ready for the Big Ten tournament. I'm not sure how many games he will miss. Those are your number two seeds. Your number three seeds goes as follows. Florida State, Houston. Florida State's the best team in the ACC. Shout out to Caleb. West Virginia and Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost to K-State on senior night for Kansas State, but Joe Lunardi still believes in Oklahoma. So, number four seeds, we got Virginia, Kansas, which I don't know how Kansas is number four right now because they lost to Texas, and USC. USC is moving up. Let's see, Florida. And not confirmed broken nose, but AU is out for tonight. Okay, they haven't confirmed broken nose. Okay. I thought he broke it because they said he was going to have to wear a mask. And Garrett keeps up with Big Ten basketball because his Iowa Hawkeyes are Big Ten basketball. So I thought he broke his nose because they said he was going to have to wear a mask. And I saw it and it didn't look pretty. So hopefully he didn't break it and he can smell and all that good stuff because I heard a broken nose is not fun. But he's out for tonight's game. Who are they playing tonight, Garrett? I haven't looked at it yet. So there's your top 16 in the men's tournament. Dickie V says it's unconfirmed at the start of the Iowa game. Okay. They are playing Iowa tonight. Garrett, how you feeling about their game right now? How are you feeling about their game? Nebraska, Illinois tonight. Okay. Nebraska, Illinois tonight. Who does Iowa play tonight? Do they play tonight at all? And they should be able to handle Nebraska without Dosumu playing. But then again, you never know with the NCAA. What teams are trending up and what teams are trending down? I'm going to start with the Region 1 bracket. Loyola Chicago's number 8. They're trending up. Purdue is trending up. They're number 5 seed. Rutgers is trending down. They're number 8 seed. Michigan. Oh, Michigan is playing Iowa tonight. That's right. Michigan leads second half 53-46. You guys are in it. You guys are in it, Garrett. You know, it can happen. It can happen, Garrett. You can upset Michigan. You can upset Michigan. That Big Ten tournament is going to be fun for the men. Just like the SEC is going to be fun for the women. They're going to beat up on each other. The Big Ten, they've been beating up on each other all year. That should be a fun tournament. USC is trending up in number 4. Western Kentucky is trending down at number 13. Seton Hall is trending down at number 11. Florida State is trending up. Best team in the ACC. Shout out to Caleb. Grand Canyon is trending up. VCU is trending down at number 11. Eastern Washington is trending up at number 14. Drake is trending up at number 10. Boise State is trending up at number 10. Florida is trending down at number 8. Cleveland is steady. Cleveland State is steady. Kansas is trending up. I don't know why Kansas is trending up and they just lost to Texas. That'll be updated next week. Texas Tech is trending down. Minnesota/Colorado State, that's going to be their play-in, I believe. That's number 12. They're trending down. Virginia is trending down. Virginia lost to Duke. Winthrop is trending up at number 13. Xavier, Indiana, that's going to be one of those play in. Either one of those teams are going to get in. At number 11, they're trending down. Tennessee's trending down. St. Bonaventure is trending up at number 11. BYU is trending up at number 7. Louisville is trending down at number 10. And Maryland is trending up as a 10 seed. So that bracket, I wonder how many teams in the Big Ten are in this bracket. North Carolina's in the tournament, according to Joe Lunardi. North Carolina is in. Let me click on North Carolina. Let me look at their record. They're 4th in the ACC. So they're 4th right now in the ACC. Florida State, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Louisville. Louisville, Clemson, North Carolina. Wait a minute, they're not 4th. They're not 4th in that. They can't be 4th because Florida State's 1, Virginia's 2, Virginia Tech is 3, Louisville's 4, Clemson is 5. They're tied for 5th. But I think, they played the games. They're tied for 5th with Clemson, but I think Clemson holds a tiebreaker, so Clemson's ahead of North Carolina. Louisville can't go to the NCAA tournament. Is that why they're number 4? I don't know. It says 4th in ACC, but I don't get that. I know Louisville has an NCAA ban. I also believe that Oklahoma State has an NCAA ban, so I don't think you're going to be able to see Cade Cunningham in a tournament this year. I don't think Louisville's allowed to play in a tournament this year either, if I'm thinking correctly. But they have them 4th on the app. They say they're 4th, but I'm looking at the standings, and they're behind Clemson. Right after North Carolina, there's Duke sitting there at 9-6. Yeah, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Maybe they said they're 4th because they're 2.5 games back, and there are half game back Virginia, 2 games back Virginia Tech, 2.5 games back Louisville, 2.5 games back Clemson, 2.5 games back South Carolina. That's probably why they're 4th. I don't know why it says they're 4th. Let's look and see who's playing tonight. Illinois is playing Nebraska tonight. We just talked about Illinois missing their star point guard. They're handling Nebraska like I thought they would, 44-59. Iowa is losing to Michigan 46-60. Gonzaga is in a good game, guys. Santa Clara is giving Gonzaga everything they can handle, 66-60 in the second half. Wow, that's surprising. Western Kentucky is playing Houston. Houston is winning that game 64-47. West Virginia and Baylor got canceled. Oh my goodness. That's the game I really want to see. I also want to see Gonzaga and Baylor. Boise State is playing San Diego State tonight at 8 Central. Ohio State is going to Michigan State. That could be a trap game for Ohio State. That happens at 8 o'clock right after this Iowa and Michigan game. If you want to see Evan Mobley play, he's going to be a top 3 pick. USC is playing Colorado on ESPN2 at 8 Central. If you want to see Evan Mobley play, USC is playing Colorado at 8 Central. So the Pac-12 is getting some love on national television. Now the Gonzaga score they're scoring at a high clip, 62-70 Gonzaga. So they're kind of exchanging buckets there. So that's the college basketball schedule right now for the men. So I'll talk about women's college basketball first, men's college basketball as well. I'll talk a little bit about the All-Star game because I'm going to dive into it on Count the Bucket with Michael. Michael and I will talk about All-Star snubs. He's picking for Team Kevin Durant, of course. And I am picking for Team LeBron, of course. Team LeBron will be coached by Quinn Snyder. Team Kevin Durant will be coached by Doc Rivers. I'll talk a little bit about the All-Star game and the reserves. Now, Oklahoma City fans will probably be upset with Makana and I. We do Thunder Coast to Coast on Tuesday nights because we said Shea did not deserve to get into the All-Star game. And we went into it on the podcast. I won't go into it in detail, but I believe firmly, this is what I believe, to be a guard in the West, you have to be on a winning team and you have to average 24. Devin Booker is averaging a little bit over 24 points a game, and he got in because Anthony Davis was hurt, and Phoenix is the top 4 or 5 seed in the West, I believe. Um, they're either 4 or 5. They lost last night. But they're top 4 seed in the West. They're 20-11, and Devin Booker barely got in. He squeaked in because Anthony Davis was hurt. Second year in a row, I believe. I think Dame was hurt last year, and he got in because of Dame being injured. And, there are always going to be snubs. We're going to talk about that on Count the Bucket. There are going to be snubs. There are going to be people that people thought should got in but didn't get in and things like that. I thought Sabonis should have got in the East, but that's just me personally. I'm happy. I am so happy Julius Randle got in. I'm happy Jaylen Brown got in. I'm even happy that Zion got in because even though the Pelicans aren't winning, Zion's on TV a lot. The Pelicans are on TV a lot. A lot. So I'm happy that those first-time guys got in. I really am. Bradley Beal, first-time guy, got the most votes out of the guards in the East. He's in. Of course, he's a starter. I'm happy. I like to see new blood in the All-Star game. I think De'Aaron Fox and Shea, which is SGA, are on the cusp of getting in on those guards on the West. Jamal Murray is a little too inconsistent. I think he's on the cusp as well. There's just a lot of depth in the West. Klay Thompson will be back next year. CJ McCollum, I think if he would have still been playing, he might have been a starter for the West because of the numbers he was putting up. That's a strong might because I don't know if he would have got in before Dame or Luka. But Steph is top dog in the West, of course, when he's healthy. And Steph is an all-star game caliber player. I talked about that as well. But I'm happy for the new blood. I'm happy for the new blood. The Knicks are winning basketball games. Vujicic, he got in. Okay, Ben Simmons got in. Bam did not get in. Jimmy Butler did not get in. So my all-star reserves that I picked didn't pan out. They didn't pan out like I thought they would. And I said, everybody's opinion will be different. I had my opinion of who I thought should have got in. But hey, I'm not the coaches. I'm not the media. Well, I'm part of the media, I guess you can say, but I don't have a media vote. I don't have a media vote, but I'm happy for those first timers. You got the old school guys that go in all the time, LeBron, Kevin Durant, players like that get in a lot. But you will see first timers every year. And I'm just really, really happy for those guys that are making their first All-Star game appearance. So congratulations to those guys. We'll talk about that on Count the Bucket. We'll talk about snubs. We'll talk about the reserves. We're going to also pick for our teams as well. So that should be fun. A fun episode on Saturday night. I think we're going at 9 Central and 10 Eastern, I believe. Michael and I will be doing that. Michael has to get off work and get settled, and then we're going to go live. Okay, guys. Let's talk about news around the NFL. Now, there's been some news around the NFL. Russell Wilson, happy, not happy. Deshaun Watson meeting his new coach and still saying, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. Ben Roethlisberger coming back. I don't know how Pittsburgh Steelers fans feel. Alex, I wonder how you feel about Big Ben returning. I have mixed feelings about that. I think it's time for Pittsburgh to move on. Juju Smith-Schuster saying he wants to be a Steeler for life, which makes sense. We still haven't heard from Drew Brees yet. Is Drew Brees retiring? Is he not retiring? What's going on with Drew Brees? We know Phillip Rivers retired. And we know that the Colts got Carson Wentz in a trade for Philly. Jalen Hurts is now quarterback 1 for Philly. As far as we know, we don't know what's going on. Dak still hasn't been offered the money he wants for an extension. We don't know what's going on there. In Dallas, Russell Wilson has said where he wants to go. Now, I don't know how true these rumors are about Russell. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to look into it. Um, I'm really going to look into it and see what is going on with his situation. I think I know he's not happy with his offensive line. We know that he has the weapons on offense. The defense. I wonder if Bobby Wagner's coming back. I wonder if KJ Wright's going to come. KJ Wright's going to come back. That's going to be huge for that defense. Are they trying to get younger? What are they trying to do on the defensive side of football? Can they get Russ some offensive linemen so he won't be running for his life? They got weapons on the outside now. Who is their running back? We don't know who Seattle's running back is. They have a question at running back. Russell Wilson has questions. He has questions and he wants answers to his questions. Franchise quarterback, been to a couple of Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl. You have to take care of your quarterback. That's the problem in Houston. Deshaun Watson, if Deshaun Watson was a drop back quarterback, I'm pretty sure he probably would have either requested a trade earlier or probably would have retired like Andrew Luck did. Andrew Luck just got tired of the injuries. He got tired of getting hit. In Indianapolis, got an offensive line once they got Jacoby Brissett. Once he became the starter, the offensive line started playing better. They got a couple of pieces, and they had a better offensive line with Phillip Rivers. He's a drop back quarterback. Andrew Luck is a little bit more mobile than Phillip Rivers. So what is Houston doing? What is Dallas doing? What is Seattle doing with the quarterback situation in those three franchises? I saw a mock of Mel Kiper, and he had Justin Fields going to the San Francisco 49ers. Let me look at Mel Kiper's mock. Come on, iPad. Don't freeze up on me now, iPad. I need you. Let's do NFL. Let's do draft. He released his mock. I have ESPN Plus, so I should be able to see my mock. I have ESPN Plus. I have ESPN Plus. Why is it not? Oh my goodness, it's not letting me see it. Let me look. Okay, yes, Trevor Lawrence going to number 1 to Jacksonville Jaguars. Makes sense. The trade, Atlanta moves up to 2 to get number 2 to get a quarterback with the Jets. So he has Atlanta moves up to get the number 2 quarterback. He has a trade. So he has Zach Wilson from BYU going to Atlanta. I think they got that trade from the Jets. Of course, the Dolphins have Houston's pick this year. They got Devontae Smith going there. He has Devontae Smith going there. Now, the Jets and Atlanta just swap positions. So he has the Jets, number 4. They're picking Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida. They got the pick from Atlanta. Of course, this is a mock. Cincinnati Bengals get an offensive tackle out of Oregon. Panay Sewell. I hope I said that right. Oregon's quarterback just transferred. Last name Shaw. I think I'm pronouncing it right. He just transferred to Texas Tech as a grad transfer. Now, at number 6, Mel Kiper has Jamar Chase, a wide receiver from LSU. He didn't play this season due to coronavirus. He decided not to play. He has the Eagles taking him. So it gives Jalen Hurts another weapon if he's going to be their starting quarterback. The Lions and San Francisco trade. So let's see. He has San Francisco taking Justin Fields. I think they should pursue Deshaun Watson. That's just my personal opinion. If they can't get him, he has them trading with Detroit. He has Mac Jones going to Carolina. Could Carolina pursue Deshaun Watson? What are they going to do with Christian McCaffrey? And they still have Teddy Bridgewater there as well. He has another trade. The Broncos trade with New England. New England gets Trey Lance, quarterback from North Dakota State. The Cowboys, he has Patrick Surtain, the second I hope this happens. Cornerback from Alabama going to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones. I love CeeDee Lamb. I do, but you need a defense. But I love CeeDee Lamb, though. Don't get me wrong. Boomer Sooner all day long. You need a defense. You got Diggs, though. He did turn around and get Diggs, so I'm not too upset. But please don't mess this pick up, Jerry Jones. Stephen Jones, please don't mess this pick up at number 10. Go get that guy. If he's still on the board, go get him. That's the top 10. Let's do... I'll talk about the rest of these on the next show, but that's the top 10. So the Cowboys get the 10th pick. Trayvon Diggs and Patrick Surtain did play opposite sides of each other at Alabama. So we get Alabama quarterbacks. I'm great with that. And you got the receiving core, the linebackers. The front seven is solid for Dallas, very solid. The back end of that defense, though, needs work. The offense is fine. Hopefully the offensive line comes back healthy next year for the Cowboys. We'll see. But don't mess that Patrick Surtain the second pickup. Dallas, go get him at number 10 if he's there. Please. Could you please do that, please? I'm begging for me and Perry, because Perry's a huge Cowboys fan. We're begging for all Dallas Cowboys fans that you go get that pick and don't mess it up. I don't have a problem with CeeDee Lamb because you were able to get Trayvon Diggs. Okay? I don't know how CeeDee dropped to 17, but he did. So, hey, that's another weapon on offense. But we need a cornerback. We also need a safety. So, does Dallas pick again in the first round? I don't think they do. I'm looking through here. No, they only pick once. So also some retirement news coming out of Pittsburgh and Miami. The Pouncey brothers have retired. So the Pouncey brothers have retired from football. They're walking away on their own terms, which is great and it's a blessing. A lot of people cannot walk away on their own terms when it comes to football because it's such a physical sport. But the Pouncey brothers are walking away. They have announced their retirement. So shout out to the Pouncey brothers for being able to walk out on their own terms. All right, that's it for today's show. Now, if you want to hear about All-Star, Michael and I are going to dive into All-Star snubs. We're going to talk about the reserves. We're also going to pick. I'm picking for Team LeBron, coached by Quinn Snyder, and he's picking for Team Durant, who's coached by Doc Rivers. That's going to be a fun show. Count the bucket, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. That's the time I think Michael and I have set because he gets off work, he can get settled in and things like that. Before I hop off of here, of course, I'm going to share my screen and talk about some promos. So here we go. MyBookie.ag. Use the code USN100. Double your first deposit. Looks like money lines are changing as we speak. Got college on here. We got some boxing on here. It's a lot. UFC prelims is on here. There's a lot you can bet on, guys, and it's very addictive. Very, very addictive. I don't have addictive behavior, but I like to win. So that's where my conundrum lies. All right. This is the Unwrapped Sports Network shop. Check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get all your unwrapped gear, live lineup gear, hard count, prop bros, the fights unwrapped for Monique and Alec. We got Gen Z with Josh and Connie. We got the Fourth Man Pod, the People's XFL show. Ladies First, of course. Saturday Standouts, Backstop Banter, which is going on in about an hour and 15 minutes from now. Basketball Casuals with Aaron. He goes on 2 hours before me. Keeping It Blunt with Perry and Caleb. They went on last night. And then we got Bet's Unwrapped t-shirt. All right, check that out, guys. Also, check out this. Check this out. Patreon.com/Unwrapped Sports. Unwrapped fan is $1 per month. The Unwrapped family is $5 per month. Look at all these perks. The $10 a month for VIP. That's what I'm a part of. We have 11 Patreons so far. We want to get that number up, of course, guys. And also, the Keenan Allen jersey is in play. And I'm excited to be able to be in play for that Keenan Allen jersey. I don't think I showed you guys the store. Nope. I don't think I shared my screen. Here we go. I didn't get to share my screen, guys. I'm sorry. But here's my screen for the Unwrap Patreon page. Unwrap.com/unwrap sports. Well, patreon.com, excuse me, /unwrap sports. Can't talk tonight. I have 11 Patreons. So, guys, go be a part of that and join in and be able to talk with us and interact with us. Here we go. Let me share this screen. This is the last promo for the night. We got rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. I went through this earlier. We got the all natural ingredients. We got the CBD cream. We got warm and cool therapy for you guys. Sore, achy muscles. Go ahead and handle those sore, achy muscles, but be careful while using it. We got rxhemp.com/USN to get 10% off your order. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. I'll be back next week. The conference tournaments start next week as well, so I'll be talking conference tournaments for the women. The men start a week after that, I believe. I think that's usually how it's done, but this is a different time we're living in, so it could be different. But the women start, I said the SEC starts the 3rd through the 7th. So I'll be talking conference championships. Like I said before, March will probably be dedicated to the NCAA. I'll talk a little bit about the All-Star game, probably just a tad, if it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to the three-point contest. It's my favorite part of it. Talk NCAA men's basketball. Their conference tournaments start a week after the women. We'll talk about a little bit about the brackets, the top 16, if it's changed. The top 25 for men's and women's, has it changed, and upsets as well. All right, guys, I will see you next week. And